So, Paolo, how are you doing, Paolo Nutini? It's a pleasure to have you here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thanks. I'm in Toulouse at the moment.
Ah, very nice. You've been playing around Europe, right?
Yeah. I think we're about halfway through the tour that we set out to do. We started in Morocco and we end in my hometown in Scotland. So yeah.
You
It's,
started.
Sorry.
You started in Morocco. How was that?
Oh yeah, it was great. We'd never been before. It was my first trip there. So we played in Casablanca. I was lucky enough that I was able to go out a week before. I spent some time in a place called Tagazout, which is near Agadir. And that was beautiful. So I got a taste of it, and I really loved it. It was a shock to know, we did the gig, and people are asking me, "Are you going to play, the last song on my first record?" But I don't think I've played in 20 years. I'm thinking, how the hell do you know that? It's great. It was cool. It was really cool.
Did you have a lot of people there?
It was part of a festival, which was amazingly called Jazzablanca, and there was I'm not much jazz that I saw anyway, but there was, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure, but it was in the thousands. I'm not entirely sure how many, but it was more than I anticipated. I'll tell you that.
If your next record isn't called Jazzablanca, then you're missing a trick, I tell you.
Exactly.
And this weekend, you're playing Vida Festival in Spain. When was the last time you were in Spain?
Let me think. Oh, in fact, last year we were there. We were playing at the what's the name? Mad Cool Festival.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's that. But I'm actually in Spain. Well, I haven't been since COVID, and not so much. But pre that, I would be there a lot. I work. I record quite a lot in Valencia, so I'm always in and out. Barcelona, I kind of would always try and go to a little trip every so often, just to. I find that a cool place to go and write lyrics. I find it a nice place to think and get inspired. So yeah, go to Cadaqués and hang out there down near where Dali's house is. So yeah, I mean, yeah, when I'm lucky enough to have the time, I come to Spain quite a lot.
Tell us a song that was inspired by Barcelona, or written in.
Oh, this all ties in actually. This is quite good. This seems like it's been planned. So I had a song called "One Day" on. It was on the album Caustic Love, and I had the song, and I was struggling to sort of, put what I was thinking about, what I was writing about, into a song really, and went to Barcelona, and I think one night got in, had it, was there on my own, having a bit of fun, and then I started. I think one night later on, I put on Casablanca, the movie. And really, the lyrics of the song then took, quite a lot of imagery from that film, and then just walking around, and I think I was down near the beach, and I just remember it all kind of fell in. I had my notebook out, all kind of fell into place, and it was all a little bit of the movie, a little bit of the city, whatever it worked, it got there, and I'm happy because I'm very, very happy with a lot of parts of that song. So yeah.
Oh, nice. So you're playing your hometown Paisley in a few weeks. It's a charity gig, I think.
Yeah, it's raising money for a local Paisley charity called Star Project, which deals with a lot of aspects of a lot of people that need help in so many ways, from mental health to homelessness to they can't afford to eat, they can't afford to, like I said, a lot of aspects of how people are in need and need help. And the other thing was for Doctors Across Borders. That is something obviously they're very, I think they get a lot of help, but probably still just about as much as they need, unfortunately. So yeah, we just thought we'd do that, and we did it in the way where we basically charge. It was like £3. You could apply for 2 tickets for £3, and if you got it, you got it. There's about 1,000 seats, and we thought, well, instead of like charging a really high ticket price conventionally to do that, why don't we, give people the opportunity to come for very little but make a big change? And so far we've it's been a bit overwhelming, the amount that's been raised. So there's going to be a lot of help getting given to a lot of people, thanks to a lot of people.
You still live there, right, Paisley?
I live actually in Glasgow at the moment. I have a house in Paisley, but I'm staying in Glasgow at the moment.
Do you kind of find that keeps you quite grounded?
Yeah. I like to. I'm away so much that when I go home, I like to have a base at home, so I can be near my parents, I can be near my friends, and by being like that, I guess it keeps you rooted to what I consider to be the most important things.
I want to sort of briefly go back to your last album, Last Night in the Bittersweet. It had quite a sort of Kosmische krautrock influence on it, right? Is that something you've long been a fan of?
I think there was elements, of that. I've always been. I'm constantly finding out more and more about it. I've always been into Can. I've always, Neu, Kraftwerk. But now, like for instance, that album Charisma that I was talking about, that has some really great, Motorik songs that I love. I love that Motorik beat, that thing. And I love the experimentation of it all. I actually. Was it this year or last year? No, early this year. I think we went to go see Michael Rother play in London, and it was wicked. It was a great show, and I'm just like, even like the El Dusseldorf. I love them, and like there's just, like I said, I'm constantly finding out new amazing records that I had no idea existed. So it's more and more. It's becoming more and more of where I go to when I need, something to listen to. Yeah.
Was it hard to find a drummer that could do that Motorik beat? Because it's kind of simple, but you gotta stick to it.
Sure. No. I mean, I'm lucky. I've got to work with some great drummers over the years, and John Blees, who plays in the band that we tour with, he lives in Glasgow also. We are very good friends, as well as bandmates, and he is everything I need in a drummer, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And if John, for whatever reason, can't be there, I'm lucky enough to be able to have a call to some other great drummers. Yeah, and he likes that. He's not one. He's not too much of too many fills, too many frills. He was really, I think, happy to stick to that Motorik drive, that drive and beat. Yeah.
That album went to the number one in the UK, which, for an album that, as I said, had like a big like Kosmische Motorik influence on it, not a lot of them go to number one in the UK. Did that make you feel that you could sort of do almost anything you liked? Like you could kind of like make music you want?
I think the funny thing was, I think the best-selling record that we've had was our second record, and if you listen to that, it goes from Dixieland jazz to Jamaican style music to just straight. At one point I have a Scottish folk musician playing penny whistles and accordions. So I think after that, and seeing how people reacted to that, I think after that I felt, all right, well, really it's just whatever the song wants to be, that's where I'm going to take it. And then years go by and maybe I feel that the song wants to be something else, and I take it there and we play it live like that. For better or worse, people's opinions, for better or worse. But you got to do what you got to do.
And what unites it? I mean, obviously your voice, but like, what else do you think unites all the music you do? You're kind of when you do like different styles.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's my personality. Like, it's an extension of my personality. What I want to portray. If people like that and are curious about that, then that's what I hope that we can do as a live show. I don't want to be one of these people who don't want to be on the stage and like what for whatever. I'm there to try and make some money and want to just get through it, and that's it. I want to be there and try to enjoy what I'm doing and try to hopefully let that spread. And it's a bit of a push and pull with the audience, the whole thing, and I like it like that. So, I mean, I think that's what ties it together. It's my kind of it's the ideas that I'm having, and hopefully people, they like to go on that little trip. We try to play what people want to hear. We hope we play what people want to hear, but it's not really what it's about.
Talking of which, what you got planned for Vida?
What have we got planned for Vida? Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to take the show that we've been playing around Europe so far, which is, I mean, it's the festival, right? I'm not sure how long we get on that day, but we'll try to play a nice mix, but majority is going to be new from the new record. I mean, that's the whole point. Let's play what we're about now, but we throw in some other little things. Yeah.
I was looking back at your discography, and I can't believe it's almost 20 years since your debut, These Streets. How does it make you feel? I don't know. For me, it makes me feel like 20 years has gone really quite quick. How do you feel about it?
Look, I mean, I'm much more. I feel much more in tune with the whole experience now than I did then. I feel like I remember at the beginning of that. I felt like I was like kind of holding on to this train that was going really quick, and I felt like I was so lucky to be in it, and I didn't feel really. I didn't really feel like I could say no, or who was I to. I just felt like I was very lucky and privileged to be in the whole thing. So now I feel like a lot more in tune. I actually feel a lot more excited about, making the music itself, and in that case, I feel like there's been so many good experiences and trips, and I can remember most of them because of the way we've kind of went through it. But I don't. I'm not really. I've not really got to the point where I'm looking back too much on anything. I feel like I feel like it's all there. Touch wood, it's all in front of me, there to do and write and make. Yeah.
You strike me as being a very level-headed person for someone who's had, lots of success for, 2 decades, basically. What kind of advice would you give to someone who, is maybe just breaking through in music world?
I don't know. I think a lot of the best advice you give people are maybe the kind of things that you maybe don't live by so many of the times. I would say that the best thing is if you can get over that thing about, trying to put too much emphasis on maybe what people think of you, and especially the people that maybe you admire, and maybe like, not needing stamps of approval from sources, because, or at least not making, manufacturing this thing in your head where you think, oh, that's that, and I'm that, and we're different worlds or whatever, because you'll be amazed the things you find out one day. You might meet somebody, and you might, I just think it's just that whole thing is a far more destructive thing than it is a positive. And if you can get over that, although it's hard to put yourself out there sometimes. I love writing music, I love writing songs, but sometimes I just like keeping them and not sort of giving them out there, throwing them out and up for consideration. maybe that's why I've taken a lot of time in between things, because I knew I had these songs. I'm thinking, I'm happy. That I've got that satisfaction. But the whole point is to share it and to let it sort of mean something to somebody else. So I don't know. Keep writing songs. Keep writing all the time. Don't forget. I'm not a person that feels like you have to sort of sit and force the song out, in one day. I keep that. If it feels like it's got to a point, you need to stop, move on, come back, but just don't forget anything. Try to keep everything, and because you never know. I mean, I'm working on the record that a record that I'm kind of working on. Has got a song on it that was part of a record before I made my first album, and it was a song that I wrote with someone, and it was about having done all this stuff, and I've been there and been up and been down, and at the time I thought, I've did nothing, and I thought, I don't know who I was channeling. I think I was like listening to a lot of Joe Tex or something, and I was trying to channel this mindset, but it would have been a bit of a joke to put out then. But I feel like you said, I have been around now, and I feel so. But it's about I don't know. I just keep writing, and try not to let other people, kind of defeat your sort of confidence. That's the. It doesn't matter. It matters what you feel and how you feel about it. And if you can enjoy it and try to enjoy it, that's it. Try to enjoy it.
So you mentioned a record. Are you working on more than one?
Well, I'm working. There's a lot of songs that I've been writing over the years, and I feel like naturally they kind of become, they feel right with one another. These certain songs, so they form what I've seen as being several different routes and records. And then I constantly try to, I've been finding, there's some that one, I like that with that. And then they're now starting to look like records in terms of, well, the kind of the story and the, just the right amount of songs really as well. So yeah, so there's there's more than one way that I'm kind of thinking of going. Once I figure that out, it should be quite quick, I think.
You mentioned earlier about putting yourself out there. I mean, certainly your debut album, These Streets, was pretty autobiographical, or that was how it was seen anyway. Was it hard to kind of have these details or these songs about people out there, kind of what seemed like very personal songs?
Well, I'm never too literal about names or things like that. And yeah, I think that there was times people knew exactly what the song was about. And generally, I think they're quite happy to have a song written about them.
I'd love it if someone was doing it to me, but it's just not happened, sadly.
Well, I'll work on one for you.
All right, okay.
We'll do a kind of Stereo Lab feel to it as well.
Well, look, if you like Motorik beats, then Stereo Lab are the band for you. I'd have to say that's my what I bring to this. But look, thank you so much for taking the time. You're playing Vida in Vilanova i la Geltrú on Saturday, the 6th, with MIA, Los Planetas, Alice, Black Lips, Alice Phoebe Lou, etc. It's a lovely place. Have you ever been there?
I've never been to the festival. I'm really looking forward to it. I have some friends that are in Valencia. I think they're coming. They've went a few times. They said it's beautiful.
It really is. Yeah, countryside and like a big house and sort of stages in the woods, and absolutely lovely place. So you're going to enjoy it.
I can't wait. And we've got some I think we've got 2 more shows in Spain as well. Madrid and is it Burgos tomorrow? So looking forward to them. Again, Burgos is a place I've never been to, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. I saw you were playing Burgos. Is it a festival there, or is it kind of?
It's part of a I think it's to do with the Primavera festival in some way, and there's some off kind of route shows. It was supposed to be somewhere else. It got moved to Burgos. I've been kind of trying to keep up with it, but I'm just like, wherever the show is, you tell me, I'll go play it. That's it.
Exactly. You drop me off at the backstage and I'm there.
Tell me where the door is, I'll go in the door and we'll do the show. That's it.
Well, have a great time at those shows, and thanks so much for taking the time.
I was going to say the same thing to you. Thank you for taking the time for talking to me. Thank you.
Thank you.